Hello and welcome to another edition of Classic Black Dude Podcast. K Pasa, how you doing? Au revoir, now that's goodbye. I mean, bonsoir, yeah, that French shit. I've been to Montreal before. That's the closest I've ever been to niggas in Paris. What's happening? It's a lot going on right now. I'm so excited to be back here. A lot's been going on. I've been at weddings. This is comedy wedding season, so I've been at comedy weddings. Been having a good time. A lot of new things going on. We're talking about some great things today. GQ just put out a thing, New Masculinity. We're going to talk about that. Princeton giving away reparations. Yes, Uncle Phil's alma mater is giving $27 million that we're going to have to split up 14 million ways, depending on what you identify as far as black or not. A lot of things going on with me, and I'm just in a good place, man. On a personal note, my mom was sick recently, and I know that took like a super serious turn, but that's the thing about a microphone. You just kind of say everything that's going on, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm way more comfortable talking to however many people are listening than just like a one-on-one conversation at a restaurant. That's my own date, really, because I'm just not good at it. I'm not trifling or anything like that. I'm just not good at dating. But anyway, this is Classic Black Dude with your host, Clark Jones, a.k.a. Pod Strickland. Today on the show, I'm very excited to have our guest here.
Kenny DeForest.
For the people watching the video, there's a white guest who is super late. So, like, man, I wish we're going to have to do, like, some CGI. We're going to have to CGI somebody in and just give him white man opinions. We're going to speak for Kenny. But who is here, who I'm very excited about, sorry if I sound like Stephen A. Smith, is my boy David Gborie. The G is silent.
Hey.
The G is super silent, man.
Yes,
and he's here, and I'm so excited because, like, it's one of those things, like, from the outside looking in, people assume that all black comics know each other. They don't assume all black people know each other.
Yeah.
Then if it's a black comic, it's assumed all black comics. And then if it's, I call it alt-black everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's like a catch-all.
That's my terminology for anybody who kind of is under the Hannibal Buress umbrella. Which, look,
man, we are all
we both are.
100%.
It's undeniable.
There's like 15 of us who are all like.
It might be more than. I mean, what's the criteria as far as like?
I mean, if you do slow rhythm comedy and you're not white, then if Hannibal had something to do with that.
If if the premise of your joke is super low and then the punchline just goes up to another level, then you're under that Hannibal umbrella.
You know, his name is Hannibal. We all like.
So I've heard.
We all watched it. I did. I know. So much.
It really is like, man, his first album is, you know what? This is a new thing. I know it's always been like, man, you can't compliment somebody too much. No, I don't give a damn. His first album is a masterclass in joke writing.
Yeah.
So many comics.
He's very good at it.
It's like, it's just like, boom,
he also
boom,
is
boom.
Like, he's also like on the back end. Like, I got my first agent because of Hannibal.
That's what the word on the street is, and everybody talks about that in like a passive-aggressive way. Like,
no, I mean it as a good. I mean
you are, but I mean
thing.
Comics who are not David, and they're like, man, Hannibal got him an agent, and everybody's like, okay, how you feel about that though?
Oh, I don't know.
There's so much competition in comedy.
I don't know what to say about that.
You ain't gotta say nothing. You ain't gotta say nothing. You ain't even gotta comment on it. I
don't know if he I did the work. Like, he passed my shit along.
Nah, bro. He signed you.
Yikes.
To WME.
Yikes.
He signed you.
Yikes.
To Endeavor. Is that who you were? Are you with?
I'm with ICM.
They're good.
Yeah, and it's the guy. Hannibal has since fired the guy.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's fired. Well, we'll get Hannibal on the podcast to talk about.
Yeah. Don't let me. I don't want to tell his story. I don't even know it.
What I will say, beyond comedy, as somebody who's watched him for 10 years at this point since I started comedy, nobody shouts out. People don't really know his business acumen. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it ain't
man.
even fuck the jokes.
It's crazy when you see guys like that, and then you didn't even know that before. Like, I've been touring for Eric Andre. Come catch me on the North American leg of the tour.
Oh shit, Sarah Sperm too, or just you?
Just me now.
Okay.
Sarah had done the first half, and then I'm doing
a white woman's job. Damn.
Finally.
Finally, dude.
Finally.
New masculinity.
Man. New masculinity. Yeah. But when I watch him, it's that, like, I'm like, man, oh, you're where you're at because you're very savvy.
Cause you're on your shit. But like that's so the juxtaposition of that with what people see on stage and what
they think he's like an idiot.
Oh, just like yeah. Can I pay you $3 for this tour? He's like, yeah, man, I'm crazy. Give me beer and cocaine. And that's not like these guys. That's what I watch for in like a mentor or somebody to look at. Comedy gonna be that's the art. It's gonna be what it is. But like, how do you go about your business? And them two dudes. Like 100%. They go about their business in a very well. Like there's stories in Chicago of like with $15 and Hannibal's like, yo, I need my bread. Like you got a story about when he came, then you have him in
when we were
Portland,
in San
Francisco.
Or no, San Diego. He tweeted about it, but it was like it wasn't a money thing though. It was just like the venue was just not doing what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he pulled the plugs on the weekend shows.
He just didn't do it.
Yeah, and I had never seen anybody do that.
Didn't you guys get him in San Francisco too for like $1,000?
We got him for $1,000 and then he got some more money out of us.
Okay, right. That's what I mean. Like
or we had him in Oakland for $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Oakland. I knew it was the Bay, but
back when I was like, because when we got him, I was so new. I was like, yo, dudes are getting $1,000 for one night.
Was that impressive when you find out?
I couldn't believe we were giving him $1,000 and some alcohol, and I was like, what?
It's crazy. Like this is why the world is like fuck the middle class, or like because you're either getting too much money or you ain't getting shit.
Comedy, it's rough, man.
You're never making exactly what you're worth.
You have no money until you have good money.
And then it's over. It's too much money. Not too much as in you don't need it, but it's like, wait, you paying me what?
Yeah, like
it's an odd thing. So like I've seen it more now in LA, and I feel like I don't like to talk about specifics of money too much with people because I've never it's more than times than not leads to something bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you talk specifics with friends when they're like, hey, man, well, how you doing out here?
But there's also like a level of like, we need that transparency because a lot of people aren't talking about it and a lot of people are getting screwed.
True.
Because of that, especially via whatever your first job is or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, it is like a tough line. I think to walk.
It's
because like, and it's like, just know that being on TV pays no money for stand-up.
But writing for TV
pays a bunch of money.
Oh my God! Like I
don't do it, but boy, I hear about it.
But you've done like ESPN, like shit like that. Like you did the ESPYs, right?
Yeah.
Is that a good paying gig?
Yeah, I think they lowballed me probably.
See, because you ain't know.
Because I didn't know, and I had not done. I also didn't enjoy the experience of it.
Because you're not a sports dude. Is that what it was?
I am enough, and it was. I'm not a. I just, man, you're writing those jokes for NBC or ABC or whatever.
And for Peyton Manning.
Yeah, who had just won a Super Bowl for the Broncos, so I was very excited.
Ah, okay.
Like, we got to meet him and stuff. It was just like, he came in and. I can talk about that, right?
You can talk about anything.
He came in and he was like, I don't want to make jokes about the Ball family. And I was like, well, that was my whole packet, dog.
Wait, he didn't want to talk about Lonzo and...
He didn't want to disparage any athletes.
Oh. So what did he want to disparage? Owners?
I don't... No,
he definitely didn't want to talk about owners.
It was difficult. It was difficult. It was just not... That's just not the way that I'm creative the best is all.
It's different, man. That's one of the things, and Patrice talked about golden handcuffs. You know what I mean? Where like, yeah, you get a lot of money for writing, or for even ascending in comedy, because there's comedians you never heard of, and people are like, oh, you're a failed comic because they don't see you all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that dude makes $3 million a year. Ralphie May was making $2 million easy off just doing stand up, and roast battle was like icing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that wasn't even his cash cow because it's like Comedy Central pays for a lot, so motherfuckers ain't getting. That's why Netflix was so crazy with what they were paying, And it was a big, they had a big rift because like Comedy Central can't afford to. I don't know what they can afford, but they wasn't paying no motherfuckers the same price for less time, and it's just a different thing.
Yep,
it's a different thing. Money is a. It drew a lot of comics over to what Netflix is doing, but they're reducing now. They're not putting out as many specials. They're like,
I think that's probably for the best, right?
I would think so, but because
tell the truth, who gives a fuck about a special?
Yo,
right now,
but they paid Dana Carvey $10 million, and I give a fuck.
I believe that, but like, we're not gonna get Dana Carvey. This is
they front loaded.
Hot.
This is hot.
This is hot take right now. Who? It's only old guys and old men and women getting money. Who's our age who's getting dough? For a special, who's our age? It's who's younger than us. See, we're in the middle. How old are you right now?
I'm 36.
I'm 32. So you think, there's people younger.
If you're 24, and here's
if you're 24, I hate your comedy.
Fuck, it's trash, but it doesn't matter. And you only understand comedy money as a great thing. Like, you don't even know, what's a drink ticket?
You don't even know.
I just got $500,000.
I was sleeping on fucking couches for years.
It's
breaking teeth, eating
it's
fucking
so
popcorn.
Funny. It's so funny to see, and this is how I know, because I joked with you about this. This is how I know a comedian's getting money or about to get a big check when they post some sort of struggle before. Because the following week it'll be like, yo, get my own special. But the week before, they was like, man, y'all don't even understand, man. This is crazy. I was sleeping on the futon with the cockroaches.
Yeah.
It's like, you kind of, you're humbling. You can brag hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Next
it's
week.
a setup for the flex.
It's a setup for the flex.
Yeah, 100. It's the before picture, so you can hit them with that after. 100%. 100%.
Yo, this is an insight. If you see a comedian talking about, they struggle.
Anybody who's like, I was on the train.
Just man, I moved to New York and I ain't had no money. Like I couldn't even afford. Y'all had the train. Y'all had it that good. I was like, man.
Oh man.
I posted my account balance, but I ain't posted. I just took the screen grab. But
then, bam, I'm in Paul Blart 3.
Yo, but now me on the set of Coming to America 2.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Which is fine, man.
How you think that movie's gonna do?
Boy,
you excited about it?
No. I don't really like reboots like that.
But this is a sequel.
Whatever, man. No. I think I want it to be really good because, man, that movie is in my heart. Like, growing up, I watched it so much. So I do want it to be good, but it's 20 years later. What are you talking about? When is that ever cool?
But Jermaine Fowler's the new Prince.
He's he's Hakeem?
He's the
I didn't know
son of Hakeem.
Who's Arsenio?
The friend.
Oh, because it's number 2, so it's
Coming to America 2.
So he's Hakeem's son.
He's Hakeem's son or grandson.
And he's just from New York now?
He just lives in New York, but he's still African.
But
he's still, I'm sorry.
If you're African, though, and you grew up here, you're from here. I'm African, and I grew up here.
You were born and raised here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you about that, too, because there's a new thing. I don't know if you heard about
the ADOS?
Not the ADOS, but there's a new show on CBS written by Gina Yashir that I love. Abby Shola. I don't quote me on this and don't counsel me. I love Abby Shola, and there was a big Twitter uproar because one of the characters, Abby Shola, is Nigerian, and she says American black men are at the bottom of her dating pool and she just kind of goes in saying basically we ain't shit.
Yeah.
And it brought up the divide between people of African descent and African Americans, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that was taught to us on purpose. In your family,
I mean, who do you think taught it?
Who else? The white man who didn't show up today.
Yeah, right? He's got a lot to answer
I feel like they
I don't know, truthfully, do you feel like that? I don't think they care about that like that. The division between Africans and African Americans, I think that was put on us by those two people. More than it was by white people don't know that there's a rift between that.
I feel
you know what I'm saying?
I feel that if we, I have, and look, I have no empirical data on this. Let me preface
Me
it with
either.
that.
I can barely read. Like, this is all
in here. Right. I don't know if this mic is on or even not. 3 white men helped me put this together. They just picked me up off the street. Yo, my account was $-, right? And I'm just like, man, how I'm gonna make it? New podcast. But I don't. I'm cool with all the Africans. A lot of people assume that I'm West African, and I am down the line. But
I mean, we're all West African.
We are. This is true. They didn't go.
I mean, I have so many theories, but I'm from Sierra Leone. Like, I feel like Sierra Leone, Freetown especially, encapsulates what the black diaspora is more than maybe any other place in the world. Is that where
the door of no return is?
The what?
The door of no return. You know that it's like an infamous door, like the last door that the slaves walked through before they got on the boats.
Oh, I
think that's Sierra Leone.
It might be. It's like Amistad was the Timney people or the Mende people. Mende or Timney. It's the 2 biggest groups there. But it's like, but the whole point of it is like Sierra Leone was founded by the Portuguese and they couldn't hang, and then it became a British colony. It's just truthfully. But then it became Freetown was freed slaves from Europe.
Okay.
The Nova Scotians, who were the people who fought for the British in the Revolutionary War. They were the black people who fought for the British in the Revolutionary War because the British told them that they would receive land if they fought for them. And
wait, hold on. So like Nova Scotians as in Canadians?
In Canada, there was a settlement of black people that the British people gave up there. The Nova Scotians went to Sierra Leone, and then the Maroons from the Caribbean, which was basically just like a bunch of wild black people that they couldn't control, moved there too, and then mixed with the local cultures, and that's like what Sierra Leone is.
So so people did return back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And it was also when the British outlawed slavery, they were sniping boats. So boats would be leaving the West Africa, and the British would shoot them down and bring those people also back to Sierra Leone.
Oh, so they was some riders.
Yeah, but it's like also it's like so like I feel like in my heart personally, I feel like what black people is, I think Sierra Leone is a pretty good representation of that.
I love black Nova Scotians because it's a testament to like, how much that's the nth power of black people not trusting white people. Because these motherfuckers went from Georgia and they was like, DC ain't far enough.
Nope.
Nah, New York ain't far enough. Keep going.
Put them
we
in
going
Canada.
all the way. Fuck, we ain't got on shoes, but we going to Canada.
They tried it too. They were up there for a while, I think.
It's a big population to this day.
Oh, they're still up there.
Of black folks in Nova Scotia.
Oh, you know what? That's why when you watch Trailer Park Boys.
Yes, yeah.
Because that show's in the Maritimes, and that's why there's black people on that show.
I would love to talk to a black Nova Scotian man because
I bet you they don't get out much.
They don't trust shit. They don't leave. They like, look.
Oh, that sounds like black people from no other place. What are you talking about?
They different. They don't trust people.
Yeah, they don't trust anybody.
We're gonna take a quick break, man. We talking about everything today. But my man David Gborie on the show. This is Classic Black Dude. We'll be right back. All right, we're back right here on Classic Black Dude. It's your boy Clark Jones, aka Pod Strickland, with my guest David Gborie, the official voice of Comedy Central.
Hey,
that gig is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Like, what was your reaction when you found out? Because there used to be Kyle Conan, a great Chicago comedian.
Yeah, I think when they told me, I was like, "Fuck you."
wait.
That's my initial for everything.
Okay,
it's like fuck you, and then I like process it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is fantastic."
Right.
But like initially, I was like kind of like, "Fuck, shut up."
Are you able to process like where you are in the game, like the level that you're at?
No, but I don't think anybody is.
It's like growing, right? You don't know how tall you're getting,
and you don't know. Yeah, and you don't know. Like I don't know where I stack up in other people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
I just have my like view of where I'm at or whatever, but I don't know.
And also, nothing is ever what it appears to be from the outside.
Exactly. And comedy's so complicated. And, like, yeah, levels is so, like, that's such a hard thing to, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you made any mistakes in the game yet? Have you flexed on anybody accidentally? Because you come off as humble, like you wouldn't make those
I haven't
types of
made
mistakes.
flex mistakes, but other than that, I've made, I think, most of the mistakes. I don't think I've missed a lot of mistakes.
How do you fuck up?
Just like everything. Just like when you first get money, not knowing how to do it.
Everybody fuck up their first money.
Everybody fucks up their first money when you first start telling jokes. Like, taking opinions that are too wild and I was wrong about. Just like, I think I've fucked up in every way that you can fuck up on every level.
Yeah, and it's just
and then that's like, because that's how, for me, that's like, I'm super hard-headed, so it's not so much that like, it's not so much that I was making a bunch of right moves, it's that I was making a million wrong moves. Right. And then I'd learn from that and get to here. So yeah, I think I've fucked up a lot, though.
Most of the time, we're not in control of this shit, man. We're nowhere near in control.
Yeah, man. And
sometimes
it's like,
little mistakes hit hard because it was just the wrong timing for you to fuck up like that.
And it's hard. Like, what we want to do is like, I have to like tell myself to chill a lot because like, I'll be so mad at myself, like, why isn't this, this person's getting this so easy and I'm working so hard. And it's like, dude, my dream at the end of the day is something that 200 people have gotten. So yeah, it's going to be hard. Like, you have to pay a toll. Like,
200 people out of millions.
Out of how many people are doing open mic comedy back home right now?
And then you got to cut off the fact like mad people have direct industry connects, but people don't talk about that.
Or nepotism.
It's not cool to be like, yo, my uncle is a VP.
Or like, how many people were just rich before this? If I'd have known, if you'd have told me the numbers on that, I don't know if I would have started doing this. Like when I started, like if you'd have been the percent of people who were like either nepotism or like just have the resources to make this thing work. Because I thought it was like, because I didn't grow up watching comedy very much.
Same.
So I thought it was like, I thought it was just a bunch of normal people. And then you're like, ex-famous dude, but also his dad has generational wealth. And you're like,
ex-famous dude. That was the thing that I think gave me such a tough time in New York, that so many people came from money. And it's a language that you speak.
Yeah, it's like, and when you're not on it, it's very apparent.
And people with money can tell right away if they're talking to somebody who also came from money.
Yeah, and they can tell if you just got money.
They could tell if you are fake being broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know it's like.
But then you add on top of that, there's also like, there's the shorthand of like writers and being in a writer's room and like.
Right.
There's all these things culturally that they maybe know about. And I thought I knew a lot about white people until I started doing stand-up.
Yeah. And
then you go to karaoke with them and you're like, how do you all know this song?
And it's just, but that's
shit like that.
That's when I sit in the back of the room and I'm just like, oh, okay, because I have my background is I went to a black college, but my high school,
Morehouse, right?
Yeah,
man, that's pretty cool though.
It's great, and you know what's so dope?
Like you can call yourself a Morehouse man. You're wearing maroon and white.
Yeah,
right now.
Talk that shit, Gborie. The G is silent.
That's always
it's amazing. Yeah, I'm blessed in that way.
Do you go to homecoming?
For sure. I did a comedy show last year at Morehouse, and like I tried to pledge and didn't make it, so it was just kind of a flex to be like, damn, y'all watching me on stage.
That's so cool, man.
It was great.
When I was a kid, my mom's friend is from Tuskegee.
Oh,
so we went to visit them in Atlanta, and then we went to Tuskegee in '96, the summer of the Olympics.
Oh,
is why I remember it so well. But like, I wanted to go to Tuskegee until I realized I wasn't going to go to college.
Oh, why didn't you go?
Man, I left home early. It was just not in the cards.
Like, was it fucked up as a kid? I mean, as much as you could talk about it.
Yeah. It was fucked up enough that I felt the need to leave early.
Okay.
But it's better now. It just was like, it was also just like, I was like antsy to get out in the world. And
what'd you do? Like, what was take me through from leaving home jobs wise to comedy? Like, how'd you get to comedy?
Okay, so I left home, and I was like still in high school. So my friend who I was sleeping at his house, his grandpa owned parking lots in downtown Denver.
Okay.
So I would be a parking lot attendant for all the major events. So like All-Star Weekend, I was parking lot attendant.
Carmelo,
yeah,
Iverson.
Yeah, all that shit. Home and garden expos, boat shows, shit like that.
Okay.
And that gave me enough money as a teenager. Is like through high school, that kind of gave me enough money to get by. And then it was just every job. I worked at car wash, gas stations, remodeled condos, shoveled snow, call centers. I worked at a casino. The casino was the last job I had before.
That was rough. All the smoke. You could smoke it.
No, this is in California. You couldn't smoke inside.
Oh shit. Okay.
You couldn't smoke inside, but it was like.
How'd you get to California?
So I was living in Elizabeth, Colorado, which is like a tiny town.
Okay.
And I got a DUI, and my parents were living in Brisbane, California, which is right next to San Francisco. And I was like,
okay,
will you let me crash there for like 6 months so I could figure it out? Because I was working like 30 miles from my house at the time.
Okay.
So without a driver's license.
That's fucked up. That's far as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like in Colorado, it's not as far. Like people.
But
drive
like even that's at least 30 minutes.
Yeah. So I was like, and I had been doing it. Man, this is so fucked up. I had been doing it without a car for a minute, but it was like my days were so long. So I would wake up at 6. My roommate would drive me from our house to Parker, Colorado, and then I would catch a bus to the train, and then I would take the train 4 or 5 stops into DTC, and then I would take the shuttle bus from the train to my work. It took me like 2 hours to get there.
To shovel snow?
No. This is to do. I was a call center. I worked at a call center. No. Shoveling snow is awful. And then after work, I would have to walk to the bus stop that was like 3-4 miles away, and then try to figure out one of my friends getting off work to drive me back to Elizabeth. But then I like did that for a while and saved up for a car. And then I got my car and I was cruising and I got a DUI like an idiot.
What kind of car was it?
1990 Mercury Grand Marquis.
Oh shit, American?
Oh, big too, big body,
bucket ass.
Oh, but it was in pretty good shape though. Mm-hmm. Like the rag top was peeling a little bit, but like you couldn't tell that from far away.
Did it have the cloth roof?
Yeah, cloth roof.
Did it sag?
It was ripping. Yeah,
it was.
Those things can't. I don't think they.
They
don't
come
think anybody,
sagging.
Yeah,
like as soon as it lead a light,
has like the yellow shit inside that you could see.
The rims.
But it was like the AC worked and like the heat worked, and yeah, man, I got a DUI like an idiot.
Is that your vice? Is alcohol your vice?
I mean, when I was 22, it was everything.
What do you? I know I ain't trying to get all what the fuck on you. I'm not trying to do that.
Are we good?
But I also, hey man, so like, why'd you start drinking? I know I've been drinking for a while. That's my Mark Maron, everybody. This is just fascinating because there are comedians with authentic like stories that are fucked up. Like,
yeah.
And it ain't no like my dad was in 9/11 type shit. Like you really had to go out and get it.
It was just hard. I just kind of grew up. It was rough growing up and stuff. So.
And I wouldn't even know as a kid. First of all, as a kid, I thought all white people were rich. As a kid,
I did, but I had like a complicated relationship with that.
But you were in Denver too, so
not as a little kid though.
As a little kid, this is Elizabeth.
No, this is so. I moved to Elizabeth I moved to Aurora when I was 13. I moved to Elizabeth when I was 14.
Okay.
Before then, I'm from Tacoma and Federal Way, Washington.
Oh, SeaTac.
Yeah, yeah, that whole area from Tacoma to Federal Way. So pretty much where all the black people are. But
that's so crazy, man.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
You, as a kid growing up in Chicago, you say Seattle or Denver, and I can only think of rich white people.
It's fucked up because from being from there, you felt like people had such a chip on their shoulder about that because it was like, especially growing up, like it's like Compton, Chicago, Watts,
I'll shoot you,
New Jersey.
Yeah.
no black people anywhere else.
They ain't no gangster black movies about SeaTac.
No, man. Meanwhile, I'm like, everybody's selling drugs in the parking lot, but like, but also I was living, because we moved around a lot. Like I went to I went to like 12 schools total, 11 schools or something like that. So we were just moving around a lot.
Okay.
So it was just like kind of stressful as a kid.
Was it, and this is just the understanding of it from the outsider, but like, does African culture roots make it like, yo, you got to work? All I know is the Headleys, and they, you know what I mean? So is that like, is it like that?
Ish. Like as a kid, Africa just stressed me out, right? Because we're from Sierra Leone, so the war started when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And then it just like Africa stressed me out because it would be like, we'd get calls at night. We'd get calls at like 4 a.m. once a month, once every other month, and then it would just be my mom hearing all the people that had died recently or whatever.
Oh shit!
So you just like, just being African stressed me out, and then it was like, we would always like be like, my mom's like a really good person. She would be like taking donations for the family and sending shit over there and like holding it down, but we had no money.
Yeah, you like, damn,
so can we take
care of the Sierra Leoneans in Colorado?
Like, I didn't have enough money to play football this year, but we sent a shipping container full of clothes over there. You get like, you get kind of upside down in your feelings about that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And like, was this, and pardon me if I sound ignorant.
No, that's
but like, was this like the gold arms getting cut off, the diamond stuff too?
Yeah, that war.
Did you have family that was working in the diamond, like the birds?
Yeah, I'm from Conan district in Sierra Leone. So like that movie Blood Diamond, where he found that diamond, that's where we're from.
So shit. So
did
like, you have
the war started there and then kind of moved out throughout the country. Like they burned my grandpa's village down like 3 times.
Just because
you're just there, and that's like,
and you just in the way, and we need you up out of here.
Yeah, dude. When I went there, you just hear crazy stories about like, them coming and like taking boys from our village to be child soldiers and shit like that. And like, we had like people in our family who were kidnapped who never got found and stuff like that. Just war. I mean, war. You know what I mean?
Missing girls too?
No, that was Nigeria, wasn't it?
That's a lot of places in Africa.
Yeah, but I mean,
sadly.
This was more like just wartime.
Just war tactics.
Wartime stuff.
And the two sides fighting in Sierra Leone specific, it was who versus who? Just for the listeners.
Man, it's really complicated. I mean, personally, I feel like it was Charles Taylor from Liberia trying to finance his war.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't. It was marked as a civil war, so it's just political unrest. So there was multiple sides trying to gain power the whole time.
This is a safe space, so we salute black leaders. What you think about Gaddafi? Like,
man, I don't really have any major feelings about it. I feel it seems like he might have been a puppet.
So there was something bigger than him.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't. It's like so hard for me to speak on that, to be honest.
Okay. That's fair. I'll speak on it.
What do you feel? You don't think he might have been a puppet for the Americans?
No, because he wouldn't join. He didn't join the World Bank.
Right.
And somehow mysteriously he, the word is out there.
This get way deeper than I thought.
Yeah, well, shit. We got to talk about this. Like this is direct African roots and African American getting along and having a common ground. So fuck the stereotype.
Do you feel like there is a common ground?
Absolutely. And there's even more to explore. I mean, we're all.
The people are the same. Like when I went to Sierra Leone, it's like the behaviors of the people are the same.
No, there's somebody in Lagos right now who looks just like me.
Yeah.
Even with all the colonization and all of that, looks just same gap. Like motherfuckers are sure that I came here straight from Nigeria when they look at me, and I talk to Nigerians all the time. And it's just like the same. There's a style of dress too. Like that blood is so rich.
Man, the style of dress thing. I was looking at my cousin on Facebook. My cousin's all dressed better than me. They live in Sierra Leone. It's like the poorest country in the world.
But bro. It's that French. It's that French influence.
Well, we don't have that though. We were a British colony.
British, and they can't dress for shit.
No, it's like, I mean, they do. I shout out to Top Boy. I like that show.
Oh yeah, I mean, Idris could dress. I guess he's Nigerian.
First of all,
okay,
no,
set the record straight.
This fucking guy is half Sierra Leone.
Really?
He's from. Google that shit right now.
I won't. I believe you.
He just. I think he recently just brought some property to like try to make commercial, but he's from Sierra. Like which is crazy to me because I've never heard what tribe he is, which is wild.
Okay.
Like if you're from, like I said, I was Kono 15 minutes ago.
Everybody know. Rep your turf.
But he's like, yeah, I think he claims London harder, but he's. I think it's like. I think his people are from Ghana and Sierra Leone, but I know he's half.
Yeah, I knew about the Ghanaian part. I did not know about the Sierra Leone.
Never says nothing about it.
Is like
if you're from Sierra Leone, that's tribal, not tribalism because we all live, but like it's crazy to me to be like, oh, to have never heard him be like, I'm Timney.
Is there classism with like tribal shit? Is it like, oh, you from
Sierra Leone's pretty good about it. Like, there's like little shit. Like, I remember we were trying to get a bunch of my family was going from the village to the city.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get rent a van. And it's like hard to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So we're talking to people. And finally the one guy's like, oh, you're Kono, I'm Kono too. And that's why he took us.
Okay.
So there's shit like that. But it's not warfare by any means, no. Sierra Leone is a pretty good melting pot because it's like there's also like pretty good religious, like it's mostly Muslim, but there's a lot of Christians there. So it's like they do pretty good as far as.
But is it looked down upon to be not from this tribe? Like, what's the top tribe to be from?
All the tribes will tell you that, right?
Right.
Like my grandma will tell you that Timney people, R.I.P. My grandma will be like Timney people, but like, I mean, it's everybody has their feelings about it.
Your tribe is the
we best. All yeah. But that's like you think Chicago is better than
fuck. I mean, not fuck Chicago.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, like if it's like Chicago versus Atlanta, you're still gonna take Chicago.
Yeah.
I think it's like a pretty similar.
Yeah,
but that's also I grew up here, man. So it's kind of like I have my scope of what that is pretty limited.
We got away from. So your folks are in not Biscayne but Brisbane. I thought I heard Biscayne. I was like, hey, Drake got a condo there? But you said Brisbane. So they're in Brisbane. You get the DUI. And
come out there.
You got to go out there.
Yeah, but it's like the house is mad packed because it's like it's my mom, my stepdad, my 3 little brothers, and my 2 sisters who had just come over from Sierra Leone.
So damn, y'all didn't even come here together. You had
it's complicated. So my sisters are technically my cousins, but their parents died during the war, and my parents adopted them.
Okay.
So they're still here. You know, shout out Grace and Susan. They're doing good.
And this like, there's no like differentiation. Like we siblings. It ain't
Oh yeah. I mean, we don't even when you go over there, cousins isn't really a word. It's just it's your brother or your sister.
I love that shit.
Yeah. There's no like. So it's just like, which was the part I liked the best about going over there was like I grew up here with no family.
Okay.
Like I didn't meet any of my family till I was like, till I was 17, and then I go there and it's just like you don't go anywhere without your family. Like we just like everybody moves is everywhere you go. If you want to go to the market, if you're gonna go to the beach, like
gang,
10 deep everywhere we go. Yeah.
What was the walk like to the market or something like that? Was that like 5 miles?
It was like so. My uncle lived on a hill. He lived in Calbatown and he lived on Maikina Hill, and the hill was like, it was probably a mile up the hill. Okay. So like if they dropped you out, like if you got a taxi or something from the city, they drop you off at the base of the hill. But then I was there because I was there for like 3.5 months, something like that. I got to know everybody like up the hill, so it'd be like chill. You know what I mean? It's like you'd start walking and then you'd like, oh, what's up, Pastor and his wife are right here, and then like the dude who rented video stores or rented videos and sold Coca-Cola, I'd stop at his and talk to him, and then I'd go see like Uncle TK and Esther. Like I would just like I knew everybody, so it was just like You know, it's like your
It's
neighborhood.
not like you just walking straight up a hill nonstop. You stop in at the pastor crib, you grab a Coke.
Yeah. It's like your neighborhood. It's just like navigating. You know what I mean? It's like walking home.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
It takes a fucking village.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know all this stuff. I was just like, oh, Dave's cool, man, but like this is examining because you're I would say you're observational comedian.
Yeah, my comedy's not really about.
It's not personal.
It's not very personal.
Was that a choice or is that just your sensibility?
I think that sometimes I have like this chip on my shoulder where I'm like, I don't want anybody to be able to say he only got that because of that.
Okay.
So I'm on some like, nah, man, I'll do it hands behind my back. I'll do it as good as you do. Okay. Which is like probably maybe to my detriment sometimes. I don't know. Maybe not. It's worked for me.
I mean, yeah, no, and it's just
like
voice.
And when I started, like right when I started comedy, I was just coming off of like my life had been really crazy for a few years before.
Okay.
So I just didn't really know how to talk about that.
But you knew how to talk about, oh, that shit look crazy. Let me talk about that.
Yeah, like, oh, girls are weird to me or whatever I was talking about back then.
Who was the influence? Okay, no, this is the question. Who did you feel like you were doing an imitation of when you started comedy?
See, that's crazy, man. I didn't grow up watching stand-up comedy.
Okay.
So at first, nobody.
You were just up there talking.
I just was like, kind of like, okay, this is how you write a joke, I guess.
Okay.
And then I just
learn by doing.
So there was nobody, but then once I started going back and looking at people, I mean, I still to this day nobody's had a bigger effect on me. Once I saw Patrice, once I saw Elephant in the Room, because I was like, oh, I didn't know he's just talking, but he's so nice at it. Like I was like, oh, that's like pretty cool. So probably Patrice and like I don't know Rodney Dangerfield.
What? That's one of your influences?
Man, I don't know, man. I just get that guy. Like,
okay.
When he's like, especially like sometimes you watch him and you see the way he hits it, and it's like, it's not perfect or whatever you would say for stand-up comedy, but him for who he is and what his voice is, you see he's like perfect. Like watching that dude do comedy is like a beautiful song. Like, it's joke and then tie and then like
it's a science to it.
It's so good. It's so good.
He was one of those dudes,
and he was such a scumbag. Not a scumbag, but he was like
that character was perfectly laid out.
Yeah,
he was one of those guys who quit and came back.
Yeah, he quit forever.
Yeah,
he quit forever. He quit for like 20 years or something.
Like 20 years. He put the mic down and came back. Like
and he quit because he was a good guy. He had a family and shit. Like
it was a different time.
Yeah, and it's like a guy like that I look up to, and I'm like, oh man, that's like. I feel your heart, man. You seem like a good guy.
Who you like now?
What do you mean, like?
Like comics, who you like now? Who you like watching? It's hard for me to watch people.
Yeah, it's just like my friends.
Yeah.
You know.
You run with the guys, the AFE guys.
Yeah,
Ian,
but we don't really do stand-up together that much. My stand-up's like, by myself. Like,
are you a lone wolf?
No, I got faded every Friday night.
We gonna talk about your plugs in a second.
But no, I don't. I've been going on the road by myself for a long time. So maybe in that aspect, I guess, like we did an AFE tour this year, and that was cool. And like I'm opening for Eric, Andre, but that's the first big tour I've ever opened for anybody else for.
I mean, like when I say that, I mean like in the process of it, or like in the
writing,
the daily life of like I'll go to a mic by myself. Like I'll go to a show just to watch, but I don't necessarily need a pack in that way to go and do things.
Honestly, I hate it. Makes me sound so bad, but like lately, I don't even need to. If I'm not doing a show, I'm not going even to comedy.
Okay,
comedy's like really. I have a really hard time with it. It's like I don't think that it's in a good place right now, and it frustrates me a lot.
What place do you think it's in?
I don't feel like there is as much original content as that. Everybody seems to be coming up at it from the same angle, and it didn't used to feel like that. And it's not. And what's difficult is that angle that everybody is coming at it from definitely aligns with my personal beliefs, and somehow I still find it boring because of that.
So
you know what I mean? Like
you almost got to step
We
out.
all hate Trump. Who cares?
I don't even mention him by name.
Yeah, or just everything. Women should have equal rights.
Yeah.
Yas queen. It's all
Yas queen.
or whatever. It's just like
Lizzo.
If that's what we're all saying, then fuck, man. That's not funny either.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I look at it from the angle of I look at it as an opportunity. Like, and I have an addiction to making things harder for myself than I need to.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like it's a really just a disabling disease where I have to be like, oh, it's difficult. Let me try that, right? Beginning with stand-up comedy. So like everybody's taking this angle, and I'm always like, well, this is an opportunity for me to be like, not talk, like to stand out. I would think,
right?
But also, I don't know if the game really appreciates you standing out as much as it once did.
That's what I mean, and that's like heartbreaking for me because I'm like, I gave my fucking youth to this. You know what I mean?
To just
so to feel like the whole of it maybe doesn't reflect how I feel is like kind of hard to see.
Man, you know what's not hard to see? This break that we about to take real quick. And I'm the master of segues. But we here with David Gborie on Classic Black Dude. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Classic Black Dude.
Man, you got good hair. Do you relax your shit?
No.
Bro.
But it's just the top.
Bro, I'm an idiot. I fucked around and put some texturizer in. I know, dude, and now I got a scab like right in the kitchen where it's like the swirliest. Yeah. It's not big, but I got a scab and I'm like, man, that's like, what was I thinking?
So it burns your shit?
I think so.
It's all good.
I wanted to be wavy. My hair's too curly.
Oh. Yeah. So wait. So the relaxer like supposed to make it straight?
It's supposed to make it straighter. My shit's like tight. Like I can't even grow a afro. Like it's like
it's like
yeah. Like I couldn't do that.
It like my shit.
It's so tight.
It's like I got like 5 different things going on. Like this is different than this, and this is different than this, and
right.
Like right in the middle is different than everything.
See, but I always wanted long. I could never do it.
We back, man. Were we recording all that?
Yes.
Cause we probably could just keep that. We talking about hair, black hair, right here. Like Chris Rock didn't cover that in the documentary.
Dude's
hair.
He talked about Sharpton.
A little, like he talked about the perm, but like right now, this is like the official last haircut. Right now, the high fade.
That's
the Kramer. I call it the black Kramer.
Yeah, that is.
Every black dude out here looking like Kramer
standard.
right now.
It's like the standard right now.
And everybody got the sponge.
Have you always had cool hair though?
My hair always had a good wave pattern on top. Like when waves were in, I was popping. But
naturally.
Yeah.
Or were you like?
Like no, I mean I just wash it. Coconut oil. That's it.
Do-rags at night?
When I had waves, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. And I had everything. I had braids. I had locks. But I couldn't really grow. My shit was it wasn't like Booker T or no shit like that. It was too thin.
Okay.
Because I got real thin hair, so it was just a mess.
I've had bad hair since I left my mom's house. Before I left my mom's house.
You do braids?
No.
Dude, that's how you
It's too, my shit's too, it would take me so long to grow my hair out.
Who cut your hair for the half hour? Because that photo was. No. It was it? Because your half hour just dropped.
Yeah,
right?
just coming out.
Who'd you go to? Because your haircut was immaculate.
I went to this place in Hollywood, but I've been good lately. So I got this guy in North Hollywood that I've been going to.
Are you? He comes to you, money?
No.
Are you?
No, I go to the shop.
Because
also just because I like to go to the shop to listen to music
in the community
and just hear everybody talk about music or whatever is nice.
But that's a wage class, or that's a different class.
Well, I was like very like in my mind, I thought I was like very righteous about like, I just like that's how humans like. This is how I look. I'm just gonna. But I was just too poor to afford haircuts. So for like, probably like 10 years or something, I was not getting. I was just.
You just like out there.
It looked, and now I look back at pictures and shit, and it's like I got a pretty decent natural hairline, so it was all right. But there are some pictures where I was like, that looks crazy.
Like
it's so long.
But that was another.
And
I think
just like that's just how I looked though,
That I think, and that shit that sets you apart too, for what you're doing. I don't know if it was an intentional choice, but like you see all these black comics and they got sharp, everybody got the haircut, and you just like, fuck that, I ain't gotta be. Fuck all that pretty shit.
It was also like I was dealing with the cards I was dealt, so like even from when I started, I was like, if I can't do this exactly how I want it, then I'll go work at the car wash. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. It's not like if I can't do it the way that I want to do it. So it was like there was a lot of like me, especially in the early times, me being like, yeah, fuck it, I'm broke. I didn't shower today. I sleep on a couch because what else am I gonna do? I have to own it.
Did you do Flophouse?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, Flophouse was a thing on Vice.
Ours was the most real one. Like I hate to like say that, but like ours was like
legitimately.
That was how our house was.
This is a real Flophouse.
That party was like with all our friends.
I remember that, man. I think that was the first time that I ever saw you, and like I take notice. I think anybody takes notice of like, oh, this is a black dude who got jokes, and it's about the jokes. Cool guy with jokes. So like, that's what I my senses go up because I want to make sure I'm not doing what you doing. You know what I mean? And that's
the
for
hard
anybody.
thing about, especially you said alt black everything or whatever. Yeah. That's the hard thing is like, there's not many of us in this, whatever you want to call this weird space we've managed to occupy.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it is also so that, like when you see everybody in whatever that is, it is all very different.
I
think so. I like to think so.
The better they are, the more different it is. Or like the more specific it is.
100%.
Like, we can all say, yo, I went to high school with mix, but like some people break down like
there's only white people and Mexican people in my high school.
I mean, but like even if you say that, and then if you break it down and say like the tribe or like the type of Mexican or whatever, like so the more specific this shit gets, the better it is. Open mic will be like, man, I grew up with white people in high school, but like the person who really got their shit down is like, man, I grew up with trailer park white people from Elizabeth. And that's when we go,
you're just gonna do my whole half hour?
And
you're do my whole half hour
I'm writing for David Gborie here on Classic Black Dude. We coming to an end on the show, man. There was
we didn't even get to the black sex.
We could talk about that.
What, I don't know. It just says black sex.
It just says, we're looking at the agenda. It says black sex, friends, and comedy. You fuck with comics?
No.
What's your policy?
I tried.
You tried to relationship in it, or you tried to be a dirtbag?
I guess a couple times I have, but I try to not. But like people who are comedy, we just had this whole. We're gonna pretend like we didn't have this whole talk.
What talk?
Right before,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right before the shit started.
If it's not here at Classic Black Dude, if it ain't streaming on all networks, Spotify, iTunes, podcast, then it ain't been discussed.
Yeah, I try not to. I haven't really.
It's not necessary. It's so many people.
I'm also not like wild sexy like that.
That's my new handle, Wild Sexy 87.
You know what I mean? I'm not like I'm like I miss signs and shit so much, and like when I'm hanging out with comics, I just want to be hanging out with comics so much that like I don't like man, so many times I've been at a festival and the next morning like everybody hooked up and I'm like I didn't even I ate a bunch of mushrooms like I didn't even know.
I ain't gonna act like Because I think we did Accidental in Cleveland at the same time, and that
in that little
that was Wild Sexy.
Man, see, bro, I didn't know. That's the thing.
It was Wild Sexy.
That's the thing,
I'll admit,
man.
He got Wild Sexy.
I think I got like a little kid vibe or something,
or
like a very innocent, happy to be here vibe. I had no idea.
I was
down there. I had no idea it got Wild Sexy.
Here's where little by little, mad comics 2 at a time started peeling off because everybody was partying.
Yeah,
and then all the shows were done. I'm DJing, and
we
the
had that
drinks
little
were free. The lounge,
the
drinks were free, and you just saw motherfuckers like, where did so? Okay, they gone, and they gone, and they gone.
I didn't even know,
and
bro.
You just there to the end, having fun.
Oof. I mean, when you say it like that, damn.
I've been that guy.
He said having fun,
dude. I've been that night was incredible, but I have been because I miss signs too.
I'm steady that guy.
Sometimes on purpose.
I also like for real. I've always been someone who separated work and home. So like comedy, how much it mixes fucks me up because like when I worked at Target or whatever.
This nigga worked at Target.
Of course I worked at Target. Everybody works at Target. Bro, I had to push cart. Man, I have a.
What department? Everyone?
Bro, okay.
Pharmacy?
So I was not. You have to be skilled. I was a cashier, right?
Okay.
And they would make me push carts sometimes. There was a full-time cart pusher who was like special needs.
Okay. That's acceptable, everybody.
And he got fired for yelling at a kid. And then I was a full-time cart pusher. And I was like, yo, okay, so there's a list of everyone in the company.
What type of business model? So they
I'm just saying it was like special needs dudes gets fired. Who's the next available person?
You're right beneath that.
It was me. It was David. It was like, let's get David to do it. I was like, man, I felt bad about that.
Fuck that.
I wrote a short film about it.
Oh yeah, you just had the short film from there. What's the name of it?
It's called The Lot. It's gonna be online probably when this comes out.
Shit. Yeah, no, it'll be. I hope so. We'll probably get this out soon. We usually do Jeopardy form, but today we're gonna do break that lyric down. So 3. You're a hip hop head.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just do 3 lyrics, and you just tell me what you take those lyrics to mean. Okay. You know, we'll start simple. Okay. All right, we'll start with the very famous Kanye lyric. Little was known in Sierra Leone and how it relates to the diamonds that we own. So when you heard that, what was your initial reaction to it?
You're full of shit. You still wear diamonds all the time.
Okay. All right, you talking about Kanye?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about me.
No. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, that song I thought was stupid. Because, you don't.
You did that for the bars. You didn't do that for
don't do that to me. You know what I mean? That's how I felt when that song was out.
So you didn't feel flattered
I felt
by
no
that.
type of flattery or kinship or that he had that kid speaking Creole in the beginning. Nothing.
Shit.
Nothing the like.
Nothing about that way that song made you go, see, he gets it.
Not what proves you.
He ain't stopping it.
Yeah, what are you talking? No, it's just like, it's a cool thing to say.
Okay. That's lyric number 1. That's what we're starting off with. Next lyric, Nipsey Hussle lyric from Status Symbol 3. And Nipsey, rest in peace, Nipsey, man. One of my favorite MCs, but he goes, I ain't trying to lie. I ain't even flexing. Block for me, black man. No, they trying to stretch us. What's that mean?
Say it again.
I ain't trying to lie. I ain't even flexing. Block for me, black man. No, they trying to stretch us.
It feels like it just means like we got to work together, man.
Community, right?
Yeah, they're coming at us like block for me. I'm gonna hit the A gap or whatever sport you're talking about. But you know what I mean?
That was a very direct reference. That was good.
I played football.
Oh shit! Yeah. The A gap is the first hole.
Yeah, the A gap is off the center.
Right. So when you see that
and
running
then
back,
B is off the guard. But yeah, it's like block for me. Like we're in it together, man. Like and like he embodied that more than anybody.
If I got it and I'm ahead of you, I'm going to make sure you can get in. Because nobody makes it in this thing. No matter what a motherfucker, and even if it's your uncle, your cousin, somebody blocked for you.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't have a third one. So that's how we gonna end the podcast,
All right,
man.
that was good, man. Thank you for having
I hope
me.
you had fun. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at CoolGuyJokes87. You can find me on Twitter at the G is silent, although not that much anymore, man. It's toxic over there.
It is real daily over on Twitter, and you can plug your pod too.
Oh yeah, All Fantasy Everything is a great podcast that I'm a co-host of, and Faded Comedy every Friday night in Los Angeles
at the Mid-City Arts Center.
Yeah, but we might be moving.
But y'all might be moving, so stay in tune.
Yeah,
you got the half hour coming out.
The half hour coming out.
You showed up on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
In Times Square.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on a billboard on Sunset, apparently.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I got to go take a picture. Everybody's going to New York to take a picture there, so I'm like, I'm not flying.
They're going to New York?
A few people.
See, these motherfuckers got money, man.
I guess so, man.
Either way, I'm rooting for my brother Dave to have his own. Is it just you, or they gonna have everybody who did it?
I think it's everybody.
You gonna get your own shit. We gonna get our own shit. I can't wait. The Classic Black Dude is right outside the Comedy Store. Yeah,
that's
hopefully.
Yeah.
At the Clark Jones, where you can find me, Classic Black Dude, on all formats, and like, comment, subscribe to this podcast. And man, I'm so thankful. This has been great. And it's your boy Clark Jones, aka Pod Strickland, right here on Classic Black Dude. Thank you.